real quick. I wanted to talk about something, right? Love language. You don't love someone in your specific love language. You love someone in their specific love language. You treat people how you want to be treated, but you don't love people how you love yourself because you would never find you in anyone, and you shouldn't expect to find you in anyone. When you love someone, you need to, yeah, study them, learn them, but not in a ulterior motive kind of connotation, right? You want to learn them so you can learn how to love them. You want to learn how to treat them. You want to learn where their triggers are so you don't press them. You want to learn where, their insecurities are so you can shine light on them and you can help them embrace who they are internally so that they can embrace who they are externally. That's how you learn to love someone in their love language. They might not know their love language, and it might cause a little bit of friction at first. But if the connection is genuine and the relationship is divine, it's only going to cause elevation and positive change within due time. So when you love someone, you want to be able to know what their love language is. That's how you start the conversation, getting to know each other. And once you get to a point where you know certain triggers or certain things about that person's personality, then you'll know how to treat that person, how to hold and caress and embrace that person, and how to listen and actually hear that person. And we don't listen to respond, we listen to listen, because sometimes people just need someone to speak to, and you might be that person that someone gets to speak to, and through you can become that catalyst for that change in their life. And whichever trajectory their life is heading, you'll be the deciding factor. They might not grant you, they might not give you the credit, right? They might learn something from you, do it, and then, you know, tell you that they learned it from some random person on the internet when you're the one that's there putting in the time, learning them, lifting them up, loving them the way that they need to, not the way that they want to be loved, but the way that they need to be loved. And that shows you how that relationship is not divine and it's not genuine. A disingenuine relationship will cause you to be drained as you fill that person up, right? You fill their cup to watch them be drunk into someone else. And we feel like we're building somebody else up for somebody else, so we're being the placeholders for somebody else's relationship. But in all reality, it only happens that way if we try to love them with our love language. When we try to love them the way we love ourselves, that's when we get everything, mixed up and complex when it's supposed to be simple and easy, right? Like the song, loving you is easy cause you're beautiful and but yeah, loving is supposed to be easy. 444 on the timer as soon as I said that, but I'm I'm just getting inspired by the right energies this time. All right. When you especially when you love yourself, you go through certain changes, right? We shed skin, right? Like, for example, I felt my feet, shedding, the bottom, the soles of my feet, I felt it shedding. And it was like that for about a week. And then I didn't notice until, while I was getting ready to, get some rest, I was rubbing my feet together and I was like, the soles of my feet feel smooth, right? So when it was shedding, it was a little bit rough, right? So when you're going through that change and you're loving yourself and you're readjusting and rewiring and rewilling yourself, and converging, pulling your body through that portal to meet your soul and your higher self, it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's going to feel a little bit rugged. It's going to feel a little bit rough, like you're driving over some gravel road. But then you get to a point where the road is smooth. You get to a point where everything feels, you know, not normal, but it feels new, right? So I got some new souls, right? I got a new energy, right? Same old attitude, but it's shed, and it's the same old gratitude, right? But it's a new form, it's a new version of gratitude. New levels, new devils, new levels, new gratitude, right? You got to have gratification at every single level that you rise, so that when you love, you're not just loving on, well, I just got a confirmation that, um wow. So while you love, you know how they say, I love hard? You can love on that level that you graduated to. And in loving you, you'll be able to learn easier and discern how to read and understand other people's love language. And it's easy to just ask someone, hey, what is your love language? So that way it's easier when you getting to know the person and you're not wasting a bunch of time. Because why is it take Slim Thug, he I'm gonna use him as an example. He said it takes about 10 years. Yeah, I get it. The relationship should take a long time to continue to be strengthened. But like I said, if it's divine and it's genuine, it should be easy. And every single day, it shouldn't feel like you've got to know the person. So now there's nothing left to learn. And I could bring my full circle moment where I was talking about having something in common and chemistry. you know Having something in common is way better than having chemistry with someone, because just because you have chemistry doesn't mean that your relationship is going to stand the test of time. You have something in common, you have a common goal that you can reach, you have a common denominator in the relationship, in the both of you, which is y'all share the same color, or y'all share the same love for nature, or y'all share the same love for children, or y'all share the same love for animals or cats or dogs, right? That's the common denominator, right? You have something in common that's always going to bring y'all back to that chemistry. You can always develop chemistry, you can always make chemistry, right? But you can't make a connection. You can't make you have the same thing in common that somebody else have. That's why it's so, not only feeling like it's a gut wrenching, like a gut punch, but it feels like, somebody is trying to play a game or play a trick on you when you find somebody that has the same things in common that you have, right? Like, you like walking at nighttime under the light of the moon where you can see the stars and it's quiet outside and nobody is around. There's no cars, no heavy traffic. So you can have time with your thoughts and you can actually walk and think, and really early in the dawn of the day, right? You can get out there and really get a bunch of thinking done while you're actually exercising and walking, and not a lot of people outside. There's no construction vehicles. If anything, the garbage truck just finished picking up the trash, and that's the only noise that you hear outside. And it's just so calming, right? And it's just so rare. But then you find somebody that likes that same exact thing, and you feel like, are they just trying to use that so they can, you know find a way in, or are they just trying to make me feel like we have something in common so that I can let my guards down or let them into the palace or let them into my boundaries, where I have all this garden and all this beautiful divine luxury, this luxurious spiritual life, that it might not look like that in the physical, because you have to be on a certain level in the spiritual in order to be able to see it in reality. The level of reality that you're on, you might not be able to see physical wealth unless it's actually there, like seeing it to believe it. But I believe it before I see it because I already know that it's there. And I'm just here to let you know that when you love yourself and you learn your love language, it'll make it easier for you to love someone else and learn their love language. And the relationship will be a relationship of connection while having things in common, instead of just chemistry and that's just all that's there. Because chemistry can dissolve. Salt dissolves in water, and that chemical action or that chemical activity or chemical reaction is done, right? After the chemical mixes, it makes whatever it makes, and then that is done. There's no more moments to be had. There's no more wow factors. There's no more, seeing where else it can go, right? Because there's only one way that you can have an orgasm. You can get F worded many different ways, but there's only one way to have an orgasm. So after you have an orgasm, the only thing left to do is have more orgasms, and then you'll be tired of that, and then you'll be tired of each other, because what else is there? There's no substance. There's nothing in common that you can go out and take a walk after you're done doing whatever. You can't, you know, one might like to be in the house and one might like to be outside. So y'all are at odds with what y'all have in common. So the relationship is just surface level. There's no swimming in there. And the female private parts is only 4 inches deep. So there's not much of an ocean, right? You can't swim in a 4 inch deep pool or a 4 inch deep water. But if there's substance there and you have something in common, you can dive deep into whatever that is you have in common. Love language.